Former WWE Executive Vice President of Talent Relations John Laurinaitis is gone from WWE as he has been terminated by the company. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of WWE, and this one's not very surprising whatsoever. Everyone saw this coming, considering he was placed on administrative leave from the company following the allegations against himself and former WWE Chairman and CEO Vince McMahon, who has subsequently retired/resigned from the company. Also, John Laurinaitis, the former Executive Vice President of Talent Relations, has been officially terminated by WWE. PW insider Mike Johnson was first to break this story today. They posted a story about Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis, and shortly after they posted this story about McMahon and John Laurinaitis, several WWE sources reached out to PW insider to confirm that Laurinaitis has been officially quietly let go by the company. PW Insider are reporting that the termination happened within the last week or so, and it was, for very obvious reasons, kept and is being kept very, very quiet beyond a very small circle of people, according to PW Insider. Now, they are working to confirm when this departure took place, but every source to a person has made it clear that Laurinaitis was indeed let go by the company. This wasn't a situation where Laurinaitis walked. This wasn't a situation like with Vince McMahon, where he resigned or retired, even though McMahon didn't resign or retired. He was told, you have to leave. How do you want to do this? And he decided to retire, even though he was forced to resign. He was essentially terminated from his own company. Laurinaitis didn't really get that soft approach. He was told, you're done, and has indeed been fired by WWE. Now, Laurinaitis has been with the WWE in an official capacity since March of 2001 after the acquisition of WCW. Now, during his time as an actual wrestler, Laurinaitis became very well respected for his ability to put together finishes. He was very over in Japan, All Japan Pro Wrestling. This led to Eric Bischoff recruiting him for that role in WCW. Right towards the end of WCW's existence, he was the finish guy. And when WWE purchased the remnants of WCW back in 2001, Laurinaitis, along with other assets, moved over to the WWE. By June of that year, Laurinaitis was elevated into the role of Director of Talent Relations, although at the time, some of the job responsibilities that he was doing, including payoffs, etc., was still handled by then Executive Vice President of Talent Relations Jim Ross. But by March of 2009, Laurinaitis had assumed that role and became officially the Executive Vice President of Talent Relations for WWE. His duties shifted when Paul Levesque moved into that side of the company, with Laurinaitis reporting to Levesque as the Senior Vice President of Talent Operations. Of course, Levesque, Triple H, now being once again in charge of talent relations after Laurinaitis' departure amidst this scandal. In 2012, Laurinaitis was surprisingly demoted to be working as one of the company's head producers. Now, this was very surprising at the time. Going from a very, very, very senior position in the company as the Executive Vice President of Talent Relations to then becoming one of the company's head producers seemed very odd. Now, at the time, it was never made clear as to why this shift happened. If you recall, not only was he demoted to becoming one of the head producers, but he was also actively being involved as a television character. He was the general manager of both Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, in addition to being the Executive Vice President of Talent Relations off the screen. So becoming the head producer, or one of the head producers, was quite surprising. At the time, as I mentioned, it was never made clear as to why this shift happened, but it was revealed earlier this year by the Wall Street Journal that the timing of that demotion lines up with an alleged $1.5 million non-disclosure agreement reached in 2012 with an employee involving misconduct claims against Laurinaitis. Now, Laurinaitis was returned to his former position, now titled General Manager of Talent, returning to head up the company's talent relations division back in March of last year. Laurinaitis' exit from the company was all but certain after the Wall Street Journal reported that the WWE Board of Directors were investigating an alleged $3 million payment made by Vince McMahon in January of this year to a former WWE employee who she had a sexual relationship with him. The initial Wall Street article noted, quote, "The board's investigation, which began in April, has unearthed other older non-disclosure agreements involving claims by former female WWE employees of misconduct by Mr. McMahon and one of his top executives, John Laurinaitis, the head of talent relations at WWE," the people said. The journal couldn't determine how many previous agreements were being scrutinized. The board's outside counsel was still collecting information about the other NDAs this week, but it has determined that the payments totaled in the millions of dollars, the people said. The article states, the board of directors learned of the allegations when they received an email from her friend of a former employee back in March. The email claimed the employee was hired with a $100,000 salary that doubled once she began a relationship with McMahon. The Wall Street Journal noted, quote, "The email to the board also alleged that Mr. McMahon gave her a toy to Mr. Laurinaitis. That was the beginning of the end for Laurinaitis, who also regularly appeared, it must be said, on WWE reality TV series Total Bellas, and also had a run as an on-screen heel executive that saw him return to the ring in 2012 against the likes of John Cena and other babyfaces. To this date, and at the time of recording right now, he has not publicly commented on the allegations. WWE has not officially announced Laurinaitis' departure. PW Insider is also reporting that the company's board of directors investigation is still ongoing at this time. Now, obviously, a lot of information to get into there, but as I mentioned at the top of the video, it's not surprising. This was expected. Laurinaitis was all but done in WWE. The moment he was placed on administrative leave, he was done. Now, whilst we can celebrate and whilst we can be happy that he has gone from WWE and this kind of toxic culture that clearly existed within the company, within the likes of McMahon, Laurinaitis, et al., whilst we can celebrate that, John Laurinaitis financially will be fine. It had been reported previously that the assumption was that essentially Laurinaitis had a golden parachute. He will be taken care of for the remainder of his days. Considering his behavior, that doesn't feel entirely comfortable, but unfortunately, I guess that is life. The positive is that I mentioned that he's gone, and I think that this just goes to show people within power in big companies, whether they are people like Vince McMahon himself, whether they made this company into what they are today, whether they took a small regional company and took them national and made them and turned them, transformed them into a $1 billion global organization, it doesn't matter how much power you've got. You can't act and behave like these guys did and get away with it forever. You know, they thought that they were untouchable. They thought that they could do these things over and over again and abuse their power. And they thought they could, you know, just get another NDA and just pay these people off and buy their silence. And they'll just carry on doing what they're doing. We're untouchable. We make this company too much money. No. Everyone, doesn't matter who you are, whether you're Vince McMahon or you're John Laurinaitis or you're anyone in any company, despite your size or stature, you will be held accountable eventually for your actions. And even the most untouchable of untouchable people, like McMahon, like Laurinaitis, eventually it caught up with them. And WWE, factually, will be a better place without them. It already is from a creative point of view. Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown were the best they've been in months last week, and the television ratings reflect that. WWE is going to be a perfect company that the people like McMahon and Laurinaitis are gone? No, probably not. But if it's better for the people that work there, that's all I care about. I care about people's happiness. I care about the product. If both of those improve, 2 thumbs up from me. And even if they didn't, getting people like that out of the company where they don't deserve to be and don't deserve to be making a ton of money, I'm all for that. So Laurinaitis is gone, and look, best of luck in your future endeavors, Johnny Ace, right? Best of luck. It's only budget cuts, pal. See what it is. Anyway, guys, smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, and I'll speak for you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right-hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.